All right, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome to, I guess, our second episode of our international show, Around the World Podcast special episode number 2, all about the USMNT national team and the 2022 World Cup.
Yay, we made it!
With me and Jacob Hernandez. We just recorded episode 6 of our usual show of European and American soccer and just stuff around the world. But this is all about international stuff because we did have an international show before we got that week off, previewing all about the men's national team. And Jacob, we made it.
We made it.
We-
Let's go!
We made the World Cup. A 0-0 draw versus Mexico, 5-1 win, smashing versus Panama, and a 2-0 loss versus Costa Rica is just enough to get us third place.
Just enough. On goal difference as well.
Pretty much the reason why we didn't beat Mexico, even though we beat in time Mexico, was because we lost to Panama in Panama, which was the one result that Mexico never did. But regardless, I don't care. We made it after not making it for 4 years. That's all that matters. So we're just going to talk about all about U.S. national team for about 20, 25 minutes or so. So, Jacob, how happy are you?
I'm very, very, very happy. But we still have an issue.
We do.
We need a striker.
That's true.
We just talked about this a little bit, off the script. Fuller and Balogun. England under 21, Arsenal loanee. Do we call him up, cap time? Do we get him in for the World Cup?
I think he wants to play for England because I think maybe
I'm sure he
Craig would have
does.
called him up by now if he would have.
Because he's definitely good. He scored like 3 goals for England's under 21s, which are probably even better than the
Yep.
U.S.
You want to give us our thoughts on their performances first, then go into striker talk, or do you want to talk
Let's give
striker?
our thoughts. Mexico. We should have won this game. We played really well.
They did. They played really well. And they played their starters.
Yeah, they did. They did exactly what me and Lucas said they shouldn't do, which was play their starters, but it actually worked out. So, I guess that's why Greg is the coach and we're not.
It paid dividend to every game except Costa Rica because he didn't
Yeah.
rotate all versus Costa Rica, and they lost 2-0. We don't really need to talk about that game because that game was kind of
Useless.
trash.
We don't care.
They were already a foregone conclusion to pretty much make it.
Now look, Ochoa, man of the match. Of course he was.
Yep.
Man only shows up for Mexico.
Yeah. Pulisic kind of missed a sitter in the first half versus Ochoa. Musa kind of missed an easy chance. Mexico didn't create anything, really. They didn't trouble Zach Stefano, who's been pretty bad, I'm not going to lie. And it hurts me to say because he's a former crew player, but I think Matt Turner needs to probably be the starter.
But he's injured.
Yep. Yeah, goalkeeping problem.
We have a lot of injury problems. Daryl DK was just re-injured. Matt Turner still injured. There's reports saying he could be back in training this month. So
Yep.
I really, really hope he is because I think he's our World Cup goalkeeper.
Yeah, Stefan had a pretty bad last 3 games. He was like flapping at crosses, and it was pretty bad. It was bad.
Matt Turner might be our World Cup keeper
Yeah.
if he comes back and performs well for New England.
Yep. But we kind of said what they were going to do versus Panama. Instead of 4-1, they won 5-1. Pulisic with a hat trick, 2 pens, and that third one was amazing. He did a little spin move and finished it. Panama never really had a chance from opening whistle. They were up like 4-0 by halftime. They absolutely crushed Panama, and Panama needed to win that game. So I basically said Pulisic needed to be a star, and he was versus Panama. So good for U.S.
Yeah, we were up 4-0 at half, then 5-0 after half, and then gave up 1 goal. Well. Then we were pretty much qualified. We brought out the qualified banner, which was a little scary.
We did, yeah, and
Then we hung on to a 2-0 L.
2 set pieces. Stefan kind of was at fault for at least one of those goals. He didn't rotate the squad, so they were dead. I would have rotated the whole squad if I was Greg.
But hey, all we needed was to not lose by like 5.
Yep, exactly. So those are our thoughts on their performances. So good for U.S. Thank God they're in the World Cup. But now we can talk positions. What do you want to talk with? You want to talk goalie, striker, center back, midfield?
Let's just go through the whole squad. Goalkeeper.
I'm scared because Stefan and Matt Turner are both going to be Manchester City. Stefan, Arsenal, Matt Turner. They're both not going to
Ethan
be.
Horvath, Nottingham Forest.
They're both
In
not.
the championship.
Yeah, but they're both not going to be playing except Horvath.
Yeah.
So that's kind of scary. Your goalkeeper's not playing going into the World Cup. Your starting goalkeeper.
Well, actually, no, because Matt Turner's still at New England.
But until July. until in the World Cup this year's in the winter. So he's going to have a couple months of just not playing, which is not very good.
Yeah, I guess because he's going to be here for the rest of like the MLS season.
And obviously he is injured right now
Yeah.
too.
Injured because he's back on loan at New England. Maybe Arsenal loans him back out, but I don't think they will.
No, I don't.
Unless they can't get rid of Bernd Leno, but he obviously has interest from elsewhere. So your keeper might have zero form going into the World Cup.
I mean, Stefan,
Unless Arsenal gives him like some
Yeah.
friendlies, because it might be during the summer they might give him some friendlies, maybe some cup competition.
But they do that for Stefan, and he only plays in like the Carabao Cup or friendlies, and
Yeah.
it doesn't work out as well for
See,
him.
but like Aaron Ramsdale's so young that they might just give him as many games as he needs, because he really doesn't need a rest like Ederson. He's not like he's ancient, but he's such a world class.
He's not
keeper
Tim
that-
Howard.
He's not. He's just such a world class
40
keeper. He
years
doesn't
old.
need to play every game. Ramsdale, he's a good keeper, but he's not Ederson. So they're just gonna give him as many games as he needs. So Matt Turner might not play that much, which is really gonna be sad because we need him.
I mean, Ethan Horvath's a good keeper, but I don't think he's better than Stefan and Turner when he comes down to
No.
play. But he's the only guy playing out of those three, and I think that's going to be our three goalies. Is going to be Turner, Stefan.
Yeah, that's
and
my
Horvath.
guess. Those three.
The only guy I can see making a push is Sean Johnson from NYCFC.
But he's 32. He's not that great. He barely plays for U.S.
Yeah, he's never really played ever for U.S.
He's
despite
played
being a good keeper.
9 matches for the U.S.
Yeah. I think goalkeeper situation is kind of in trouble. I don't think we're in trouble with center backs.
No,
I think center
so.
backs were good.
Yeah, we got Walker Zimmerman, Eric Palmer Brown, Aaron Long, Miles Robinson. Got James Sands can play there.
John Brooks.
John Brooks, if he wants to call him up. Cameron Carter Vickers.
So for me,
Matt Miazga. We have a lot of center backs.
Jacob, they're gonna take. You usually take 4 center backs for World
probably
Cup.
4.
We got Walker Zimmerman and Miles Robinson are locks. They're going to the World Cup.
They're going to the World Cup.
So then we have Aaron Long, John Brooks, and Chris Richards. Those 5, plus maybe James Sands or.
I think maybe James Sands comes in as kind of like a utility guy for World Cup. So
Yeah.
maybe he goes just because of his versatility of being able to play in the midfield and in the back.
Yeah, I could definitely see him doing that. But who do you think the other 2 center backs are going to be? Chris Richards is a very young and up and coming player.
Do they give Eric Palmer
No,
Brown a run?
no. Unless those 3 guys are just naming tear their ACLs. No. Nah.
I think
I might take Mark McKenzie over Eric Palmer Brown. Not saying something.
I'm thinking. So what were the 3 options? Aaron Long, Chris Richards, and
John Brooks.
I mean, Chris Richards, has he played for the U.S. in a while?
It's been a while. I think he's hurt right now. But, I mean, he's a very young, up-and-coming center back.
Yeah, do they want to bring him to a World Cup just to get, like, experience? Because if he's going to be, like, the 4th-string center back, he's not going to play that much.
This is going to – because I know U.S. Men's National Team Twitter would want Brooks and Richards to be the starting pair, but Brooks has been bad. The best because he's played from the national team, and he has been called up in the past, 3 World Cup qualifying cycles.
Yeah.
Richards just might not make it because of injuries or just
I think he's
be
playing again. I think he might have just came back from injury because he played 45 minutes in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, he just did this weekend.
Yeah,
actually.
I'm guessing he just came back because it's his last game before that was January 30th.
In 2 months. And also, we have to consider this, Jacob, because it's 6 months until May the World Cup roster decided. So much can change.
Time for Richards to improve.
There's time for people. There's time for people to improve, in form, out of form. There's injuries. Anything could happen. And I mean, what if Zimmerman or Robinson goes down? Which you really hope not, because they've both been really good. Because then you have to take one of those. I would say Aaron Long's probably going. Greg really likes him a lot. He comes off his torn Achilles, and he immediately gets back into the squad. Doesn't start, but he's back in off substitute appearances, so it's clear Greg rates him a lot. And he's been doing really good for the Red Bulls in MLS. I think it's probably those 3. And I would honestly say Chris Richards.
Mm-hmm.
Sad because I think Greg
John
and Brooks have.
kind of out of the squad.
I think Brooks. I think him and Greg got a kind of a strained relationship that I don't think's been brought to light yet. I think they're both professionals, so they won't really talk about it as much. Because every time Brooks has really played, I mean, the Nations League game versus Mexico, he played good, but I can't really name any other match where he played outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, he's not playing like that well for Wolfsburg either.
And Wolfsburg's not doing well either. So
yeah, he's playing all right, but
yeah.
When was the last time he's played?
I mean, we'll see. A lot can happen. But yeah. What do you think about fullbacks, though? You just take 2 right backs, 2 left backs, and we have a bleep ton of right backs and not a ton of left backs.
Yeah.
I'll name some. Let's name some off. We got Serginho Dest, DeAndre Yedlin, Shaq Moore, Reggie Cannon, Joe Scally, Aaron Herrera. Those are probably the only ones that are in consideration. And then the left back, we got Anthony Robinson, George Bellows, Sam Vines. That's about it. Chase Gasper, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, maybe we just take like 3 right backs and 1 left back.
I honestly, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I don't rate Bello and Vines like as highly as one of those other right backs. So I think Anthony Robinson, starting left back, obviously.
Yeah, he's in pen. Like you can write his name in pen, dude.
Yeah, Anthony Robinson, left back, right back, probably.
He's one of those. Anthony Robinson's one of those guys that he cannot get hurt. Like people don't realize how
we don't have another
he is.
left back.
We don't. Like Serginho Dest is honestly our best left back, and he's not been the best left back from his national team.
Yeah, Robinson, and then probably Dest, Yedlin, Cannon.
I would honestly think Greg would do Shaq Moore over Cannon.
Shaq Moore.
Cannon, man.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I'd just say Yedlin, Dest, Robinson, but then the other backup.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I don't really care.
I mean, Cannon, I think it's better than Moore, but Cannon has his club team, man. He's never even had a chance there.
Yeah, I mean, his club team was
Shaq
in
Moore.
Portugal.
Shaq Moore's done pretty good for his national team, but it's hard to say Shaq Moore.
But he's also playing in the second league in Spain.
Exactly,
so
yeah.
I think neither of them are playing in such a really high league.
I rate Sam Vines a lot, but he just hasn't been doing well for his club. He's one of those guys for me that if he starts doing really well for his club this summer, he'll easily make it. I rate him way more than Bello, and I'm kind of scared Gray's going to take Bello because he even took him for a backup left back for Robinson, which kind of scares me. I personally would go Dest, Yedlin, Robinson, like you said, and right now I would go Joe Scally and just have Dest as a backup left back because Joe Scally's been playing as kind of a left wing back, right wing back, right back, left back.
I think those first 3 are just like locked in. I think those are the 3 best fullbacks that we have, and then the rest is just going to be figured out in the next 6 months.
Yep.
Who's on form, who gets injured, who plays well, who Greg likes.
Yep.
So I'm not really sure of that last fullback spot.
Midfield, I think there's about 4 or 5 locks. I think Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie are undisputed locks. I think Kellen Acosta is a lock just because of his backup and his versatility and how much he's played. I think Yunus Musa is a lock. I think Gio Reyna is a lock, if you even consider him a midfielder. And I think Brendan Arison's a lock. Any other ones you're thinking?
I don't know. Should we take 2 6s, 2 8s, 2 10s?
Yeah.
6, Tyler Adams, Kellen Acosta.
Acosta can play 8 too, so he's versatile. He's played so much too for Greg, so I think he's a lock for a depth piece at the World Cup.
Adams and Acosta at the 8.
Weston McKennie when he comes back and he does good. So we got these guys on the
Musa?
bubble. We got. Oh yeah, Moose is a lock too, but I think Moose is more of a 10, honestly.
Is Rayner or Aronson more of an 8 or no?
Aaronson's more of a winger, 10. Same thing with Reyna. So we got Leggett on the bubble. We got Luca Della Torre on the bubble. We got Christian Roldan on the bubble.
James Sands on the bubble.
Yeah. Ooh, Sands. Yeah, I could easily see Sands as a 6. Acosta as an 8 too.
So maybe Adams, Sands, Acosta, McKennie, and Musa, Aronson, and Reyna.
Yeah, if I had to get one, I think we were probably missing one more midfielder. I would have to go with Man, it sucks because Leggett and Roldan were such like mainstays for them. Leggett's been really bad for the national team all through qualifying, which really sucks for him. I don't think Roldan's gonna make it, which sucks because Roldan's been so good for in MLS and the Sounders, but I don't think he's ever gonna crack through. I would go Luca Della Torre myself personally.
I agree.
I think he's a in and out 8. You know what you're gonna and based on talent too. He looked really good, and he played in this last World Cup qualifying. So
What formation are we gonna play? Like a 4-3-3?
Yeah, it'll be a 4-3-3.
So that means maybe then up top, Pulisic, Weah,
Reyna, Aronson, and I would say the third guy gonna get in there is I think Jordan Morris. I think it should be Morris personally.
Yeah, because how many can we take to World Cup?
23, but you heard they might extend it to 26 for 3, which I'm really in favor of. You need some emergency guys like on deck.
Yeah.
Maybe not roster, but they're with the team training and stuff.
Yeah. We take those 23. You got.
I so bad want Paul Ariel to be in that World Cup, dude. That would be amazing.
I think he should be there. I mean, he's played a lot.
You need a guy that like tries really hard, but I just think they're gonna run out of spots of quality players that they just have to take.
Is Pepe gonna make it or?
Dude, I can't tell you one striker that's a lock to make it besides maybe Jesus Ferreira because Greg just loves him.
We also got to talk at striker, Brandon Vasquez.
Let's just talk strikers right now, dude.
Brandon Vasquez on form with FC Cincinnati. Does he get
the 2 strikers, which is probably going to be the 2 strikers that come, not 3 because Greg is usually always on like 2, but Pepe, Sargent, Jesus Ferreira, Daryl DK, Giassi Zardes, Josie Altidore still there, Bobby Wood, Miguel Berry, Brandon Vasquez, dude. Jordan Pefok is definitely not going.
I do not want him to go.
Dude, there's so many names at striker. Just anyone. Anyone can just please.
Balogun, if he likes the United States.
Just anyone that can put in. Whoever's going to put what.
Lucas.
Any American striker that can go 15, 20 goals this year is going to make the World Cup.
I think Lucas makes the World Cup. Lucas goes for 15, 20 goals easily.
I think Jesus Ferreira is honestly a lock, almost. Like, if I had to pick one today, which I hate to say it because I don't think he's going to start. But Greg likes, because he's different, he plays a false 9, and he can be more technical. And if he scores 15 goals for FC Dallas this year at the end of the year, he's making the World Cup.
He's got 3 right now.
And I think that means it's down to probably Pepe, Sargent, and DK. My hope is Sargent goes off, and he is the unequivocally starting number 9, or Pepe finally finds his footing at Augsburg and scores. I just want a striker that's going to put the ball in the back of the net, as they say.
Yeah, I don't really have that right now. Weah hasn't scored.
He's more
in League One yet.
Yeah, he's more of a winger though. I know you can play the 9, but
I mean he only has 3 assists though, and he apparently got a direct red card, so he's suspended for 2 matches.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Who do you think number 9? Who do you personally like and think?
I honestly have no clue. None of these names are jumping out to me. I mean, depending on if Ferreira scores 15 goals, he's doing really well right now. 3 goals and assists in 5 matches. Might have to be him. Somehow.
How much of a chance do you give Giassi Zardes? He's not a lockdown starter anymore for the crew with Miguel Berry. So, and Greg's dropped him this past World Cup qualifying cycle because he wasn't performing well. So
he's 30 years old. This is probably his last chance.
He's
only scored once for the Columbus Crew this season.
Yeah. He looked bad versus Nashville too.
He usually gets a chance, but I don't know if he gets one this time. Miguel Berry, do we cap tie him as well?
I think so.
Definitely not. He's
not in a slump. Back. He's in a slump right now, but I mean, we'll see. Yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised Zardes didn't request for a loan.
Yeah.
Because this is it for him, honestly, if he wants to play in a World Cup. So I mean, I guess we'll see. That's my number one worry is just striker, because we cannot.
Yeah.
We can go in the World Cup qualifying. We did it without a striker consistently because we just based on whoever was hot at that point. Yeah, Pepe, Ferreira, Sargent for that first little part. We need a consistent or an on fire striker going in the World Cup. We just have to. You can't get out of the World Cup group and not have a striker. Like 2014, Altidore, who did get hurt, but we had Clint Dempsey. We need a striker.
Was Donovan still alive back then?
He didn't make the 2014 World Cup.
Oh, dang. I think the defensive midfield is not really locks, but it's more
clear.
More clear. I can see different players going. Sometimes we might be surprised by the selections, but there's definitely a few players where I can be like, oh yeah, I understand why they made that, or oh I get why Greg didn't call him this time. There's definitely a lot more good options in those spots. The attackers, I think it's not going to be clear until the selections come out, because there's so much, so many variables that can go into the selection at the striker spots. The wingers, I think it's a little bit more clear. Reyna, Aronson,
barring any injuries.
Pulisic, but I don't see a striker right now. I don't see a backup striker. I don't know who's the third choice striker.
Just no Josie.
Have no clue.
I don't want Josie Altidore.
Josie Altidore cannot make it. Please.
If they extend the 26, I can maybe see him get a spot, because he's old and he's injury prone, and no.
He's 32. Like, why? I mean, what has he done to deserve a call up to the national team?
Nothing, but people would argue that no one else scores. So
he also doesn't score.
I know. All right, but we'll probably do one more international show.
Yeah, probably.
Talk about the strikers. So, real quick before we leave, not real quick, our last thing we'll talk about
our Group
B. USA got on the Group B with
England. They're going to make it out unless they bottle.
It'd be kind of funny if they do again.
That'd be hilarious if they bottle it. Iran, I don't know how strong they are. Probably not that strong.
No, they're always in it though. They're always the coming out of their World Cup qualifying. They're always a team making it.
Yeah,
so they're consistent.
Wales, Scotland, Ukraine have no clue when any of them are going to play their games.
Let's just say it's Wales.
Yeah, I'm just going to say probably Wales makes it out. I think it's between USA and Wales for that second spot.
Yeah.
I think the USA's best result here is going to be second in their group, and their worst would be third. It's going to be tight.
Yeah.
I think if we want to make it out, we might have to get 1 point against England.
Maybe I don't think Wales is a pushover. If Scotland makes it, I'm not worried at all. Scotland.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Scotland. I'm a little bit more worried about Wales.
Iran's weird because you don't ever know how good Iran is. England's a tough match, but their golden generation didn't beat us in 2010 when we had a pretty good squad. It was 1-1. And England has a complete history of bottling. They lost to Iceland before. Yeah. It's happened, and England has a history of undermining their opponents. I don't think they'll undermine the United States, myself personally. If they get a draw versus England, that's a very good result.
Yeah, I think draw versus England, we make it through in either first or second. I think even if we lose against England, we could probably beat Wales and Iran. So we could just get 6 points out of our group just with two wins.
The U.S. actually needs to avoid a draw versus Iran.
Yes,
Iran's got
absolutely. We have to get 3 points versus Iran.
Iran's got a history of being a tough out. They tied Portugal in the 2018 World Cup. They only lost to Spain 1-0, and they beat Morocco 1-0. So they're a tough out. They're not like a pushover, but they should beat Iran.
We should beat Iran. We have to beat Iran. Not that they are terrible, but that's the team in our group that if we want to make it out, we're going to have to get 3 points against.
Yep. And I don't know how scrappy they play. I'm trying to see the fouls they had in these games. They do kind of foul a decent amount, but U.S. is used to that with CONCACAF, the teams they play.
Yeah, U.S. soccer, you obviously see a lot of set pieces, Route 1 football, just pump it along, put it up in the box.
You could say they get a little lucky. They beat Morocco on an own goal in the last minute of the game. They lost to Spain 1-0, and they tied Portugal on a last-minute pen. So they did get unlucky, but they're not a pushover by any means. That's our third game, though. So our first game's either going to be Wales, Scotland, or Ukraine. Second game's England.
And it's going to come down, probably last game, it's going to be like winning in,
You always want to win your first game. The first game's always huge because it sets a tone for the rest of your two games. Because remember, Germany lost to Mexico in 2018, and they were like scrapping versus Sweden and South Korea, and they ended up not even getting out of the group. I think they got a good draw, personally.
I agree. I think this is a somewhat easy group.
Yeah.
Compared to the other groups.
Yeah, everyone wanted Qatar, which is obviously it's not surprising. Everyone wanted Qatar because they're in pot one, and I can't believe we have to watch Qatar instead of Italy, but it's okay. Yeah, England's obviously the tough game, and I mean we'll see. We still got about
Qatar or the Euro winners. Qatar makes it.
Well, they're the host nation, so, makes sense. But, we'll see. 6 months a long time can happen. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if USA even beat England. But, England's going to probably try really hard. So, we'll see. I think the World Cup draw was very, very...
Very nice to us.
Yes, nice. And I would say it was a good draw. Like, there wasn't like three groups where like, holy crap, that's all the stacked teams, and three groups were like, what the heck? I would say the group of death is honestly Group B. I would say Group B or Group F, because Spain, Germany, and Japan. I think Japan's underrated personally. Yeah. And then they're gonna have the ice playoff. Group F, Canada. Obviously, our CONCACAF guys making it, but they're with Belgium and Croatia. And Morocco's not exactly an easy. That's a tough group. What do you think is Group of Death?
I'm looking at this Group F, and I'm seeing a Belgium team that's ranked one of the highest in the world, a Croatian team that made it to the World Cup finals last time. Morocco, they have some quality players in their squad. And then Canada, who's really on the rise. They won CONCACAF. Did they not?
They did, yeah.
Alphonso Davies might come back, probably the best player in CONCACAF. They got, lots of really good Canadian players.
I would say we got a better draw than Mexico. Mexico got not only Argentina with Lionel Messi. Argentina hasn't lost a game in like 2 years. Poland's decent, depending on what Poland team you get, and Saudi Arabia is not a pushover. That's a pretty tough outing for Mexico.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. I'm excited for the World Cup, personally. A lot of stuff that can happen. Portugal, Ghana, South Korea, and I believe the other team. That's a pretty good group. I forget the other team. Uruguay. That's a good group. That's a pretty hard group as well. I'm not gonna lie.
The more I look at this, the more Group B, the one we're in, seems pretty easy.
It seems pretty good. France got pretty lucky. Denmark's a good team, but they're pretty lucky. G, Brazil, Switzerland. I would say Brazil and Switzerland are probably going to make it out of that group. I don't really see Serbia and Cameroon making it. Group G is pretty clear to me. I don't really see an upset or surprise.
Yeah, Group G might be one of the easiest, but African nations like Cameroon, they're not the easiest. They're really never easy. They always come in with a lot of fire. Yeah, going back to Canada, Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David, Tajon Buchanan, Al Aaron.
Stockio Hutchison's still around. Mark Anthony Kaye is a good young player. Larea's good. Osorio's pretty decent. I don't think their backline's going to hold, though. I think
their backline.
Like, their backline against...
It's their worst...
Dude, their backline against Lukaku, Hazard, both Hazards, De Bruyne is... Oh, boy. That could be bad.
Yeah. They're just going to score a load of goals.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Group A, who makes it out?
Netherlands. Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, Netherlands. Easily Netherlands. I would say Netherlands got probably the best draw. Netherlands and Brazil got the best draw.
Netherlands makes that one out, and then...
I'd say Senegal.
Senegal, yeah. Netherlands, Senegal. Group B, England, USA. Group C, Argentina,
I'm gonna say the way Mexico's been playing, I'm gonna say no, but I can't trust Poland, so I'm gonna go with Mexico.
Argentina. I'm gonna go Poland in that one.
Mexico always finds a way to get out somehow, but they never make it through the round of 16.
Yeah, I think Poland, Mexico, whoever makes it, that one probably loses their next game. Group D, France and
wait, hold on. So we have Senegal,
Netherlands,
England, USA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Argentina, Mexico for me. Argentina, Poland for you. All right, there we go. Right.
France and
Denmark.
Hopefully Denmark.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Denmark. France and Denmark.
I want to see Denmark.
Yeah.
Spain, Germany.
I don't know, dude. Germany's had a history of balling, but Spain, Germany.
Germany's so good, though.
Yeah.
They have such great players. If they can just not bottle it.
Don't sleep on Japan, though.
Don't sleep on Japan or the playoff spot.
Yeah.
Group F.
I'm going to go Belgium, Croatia.
Belgium, Croatia.
I can see Canada making it.
I can see Canada making it, but their backline's so bad.
But Croatia just have a history of, like, just unity and just, like, you know.
I mean, World Cup final last time out, so.
You know, now just saying that, I already know, like, Morocco's going to make it over Croatia or something crazy like that, but we'll see. There's always a team that you do not expect to make it, like, always gets out. Remember when Costa Rica won their group in 2014 when they had...
I don't have a lot of faith in Croatia, but
we'll see.
Based on the last time they played, hopefully they make it again, you know.
Yep. All right.
Brazil, Switzerland.
Yeah, that's pretty
Portugal.
easy.
I'm going to say Uruguay in this one. Portugal, Uruguay.
Yep. Same here. I can see Korea, Republic.
I could see Korea making over Uruguay.
I don't really have any hope for Ghana this time. Ghana doesn't have a talented squad as they did in 2014. They have half the Columbus Crew roster on Ghana, so I mean, we'll see.
I'd say dark horses for these groups. Oh, there goes the phone.
Yeah, let's go with two dark horses for all groups because we probably got to end this episode. I would go dark horses for me. I would go with Japan and man, can you count Switzerland the dark horse? But I guess we're getting out of the group. I guess you can't pick them. I would go with Japan, Canada. Personally,
Canada. Yeah. Maybe whichever. I mean, I don't know, between Mexico or Poland, whoever doesn't make it, I don't know. But those are kind of tough ones there, Mexico and Poland. I'd just pick one of them, and then another one I might say.
I was tempted to go Korea Republic as well. I mean,
I'm thinking Korea.
Yeah.
Korea and one of Mexico and Poland.
Yeah.
Because Korea's, they got Kyung-min Son, one of the best players in the world, and then Mexico and Poland, I don't know who's going to make it out. That's going to be a tough one.
Any hope for, like, teams like Ecuador, maybe? I don't know.
Ecuador, I was kind of looking at them, but I don't know what their squad's looking like right now.
I can't believe Chile didn't make it again. Chile or Colombia's not in this again. No, Italy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't see a hope for Ecuador. Just looking at the squad in the group, I think Senegal is just better. I think they have a chance because I think they have a decent group, but I think Senegal and Netherlands are going to win that. Holland got a pretty good draw.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Anything else? Are you ready to end this?
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
I guess. I mean, if you know how to work the comment section.
Yep.
Put down your World Cup predictions. Who we have winning the World Cup? I guess that's my last question.
Shit, dude, that's like 6 months, 7 months from now.
This is an early prediction. We'll give a new prediction.
Okay, early
later.
prediction now.
Early prediction.
Argentina. Because they haven't lost a game in years, and I want to see Messi win a World Cup. That's my early prediction. Argentina.
I was gonna say Argentina if you didn't say Argentina, but you did. It. So I'm gonna go with Spain.
That was my other guess was Spain too. Kind of feels like a Spain year. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. Good prediction.
Those are my two favorites right now. I kind of want to see one of them win. No, they might not be the best, but I kind of want to see one of them win.
I want to see Belgium win a World Cup for the past 2 cycles, but they always kind of bottle. So
maybe Eden Hazard has a big comeback.
Maybe
we'll see.
All right.
Well, ready? We'll see you for.
Oh no, Jacob. USA.
Oh yes, USA are gonna top the group. Let's go. The mic just fell off the table there a little bit.
Good.
It's fine. USA's hopefully
USA's winning the World Cup. Let's be honest.
USA's winning the Cup. Yeah. There you go. You have it there. You heard it from us, and if you hear it from us, it's gonna happen.
Exactly.
So, place your bets on USA winning the World Cup. You're gonna make millions of dollars. So, yeah, don't listen to us for gambling advice because USA they might not
Yeah.
even make it out of the group.
Double episode day.
Double episode. Hopefully goes well. We'll be back for another international type video, probably a little bit
Probably
later
soon.
in the year.
Yeah, probably soon.
To give our thoughts on some strikers, and maybe we'll make a full on bracket. Maybe we'll
we
give our
should.
full bracket.
Yeah, we definitely should.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see you then.
All right.
Upload both of these, on Wednesday.
Yep. See ya.